What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and today we have a very special, very exciting, and very expensive opening for the channel. This is an item that I picked up in California a few weeks ago when I visited Core TCG. I've already opened all the other stuff that I've bought from that trip, but this is the very last one, and it is pretty darn expensive. This is, of course, the Rainbow Dragon tin from 2007. So if you guys remember, back in 2019 at the very end, there was a YCS in Pasadena back in November, and I bought the Volcanic Doomfire tin, which, while it was released at the same time as this one, it's not nearly as expensive, like less than $100. So this is like one of the more expensive tins from this era, but I really wanted to open it. I'm a huge fan of Crystal Beast and Rainbow Dragon and all that stuff, so I thought it'd be very fitting. And if you guys remember these tins from back in the day, they're pretty funny because you don't really have any promo cards besides the cover card there. The sets in there, I mean, they're cool, but you're not really that likely to pull anything super expensive, especially nowadays. Sure, you could get lucky with like a really good ultimate rare or a really good secret rare, but in general, if I wanted to save my money on this or wanted to sort of regain value from it, I would just keep it sealed. But that's no fun. It's no fun for me to just come out here and show you guys that I bought this tin and then just leave it sitting on a shelf. So in today's video, we're going to open it up. I am interested to see if it's going to be as warped as the Volcanic Doomfire tin, because a lot of the cards in that one were really bent. As you can see here, there's a whole bunch of tins that were released. It's kind of hard to read, but in this second launch, you had Rainbow Dragon, Volcanic Doomfire, and Elemental Hero Plasma Vice. A lot of these tins from this year and a lot of these older tins and just in general are really pricey. They're pretty hard to come by actually in sealed, but I think they're pretty fun to open. And I don't know, Core TCG has a whole bunch of these, and it's really hard restricting myself from not just buying all of them or buying a bunch of them, because I love opening old tins. I think they're pretty fun to open and just kind of see what's inside, because tins over the years have just changed so much. I mean, we don't even have tins like this anymore. We just have the mega tins nowadays, but there was like a long time in Yu-Gi-Oh's history where they had tins just like this with no other promo cards in the cover. And in some cases you had good cards like Jinzo or Cyber Dragon or something along those lines, but in a lot of cases you just had pretty much complete garbage. I mean Rainbow Dragon's cool looking, but it's not actually that competitively viable, and I think that is kind of funny that you were just buying the tin for the tin itself and kind of having a cool casual promo and then having some reprints inside. So we have the Rainbow Dragon here, secret rare, and like I said, pretty much impossible to make our money back on any of these packs, or I guess this tin just in general. I'm not opening it to try to make a profit. I mean, in general, that's a really bad idea, but especially with an old product like this, you can kind of see this has a pretty bad holographic bleed through. You can see all of the holographic lines going across even through the effect text. But Rainbow Dragon, pretty cool card. It has the 7 colors of the rainbow right there. We could use that for the 7 colored fish video. As for the packs inside, we have Tactical Evolution, fantastic set. Force of the Breaker, also good set. Also, I can already feel these are like super warped once again. Strike of Neos, pretty cool. Cyberdark Impact, and Power of the Duelist. So one of the reasons that you guys might notice when I buy packs that I usually buy from this era is that this is when I was really like growing up on Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, I remember buying Tactical Evolution and Force of the Breaker. Pretty much all of these sets were like when I was in middle school and elementary school. So this is like a really fun time for Yu-Gi-Oh! For me personally. So I'm sure that many of you guys can relate to that if you're around my age. So I like opening these packs from the GX era a lot. Anyway, though, let's go inside here and see what we can actually open. These packs are very warped. This one actually isn't too bad, but there's a couple of those that are warped. Last time I thought that might mean that there's like holographic cards in them, because that usually can happen over time, but we found a lot of packs that were warped even without pulling holographic cards, so we'll just have to see with this one. So first, we have Amulet of Ambition, Venom Boa, Creature Seizure, Shadow Delver, and a rare common charity. I think it's become a meme at this point, but just in case you don't know, for some reason I've opened a lot of these old sets, but there's no holographic cards that are guaranteed in any of these packs, so we might just open 5 rares, which can happen. I mean, like in the last opening a couple days ago, you saw we opened like only 1 holographic card, but hopefully we can pull more than just like all rares. That'd be kind of nice. Chrysalis Larva, Rise of the Snake Deity, Dark Effigy, and Hero Counterattack. Okay. Got some pretty fun cards. The Venom cards in particular I always thought were really funny because they're all just like so bad. I mean, yeah, I guess the big boss monsters aren't that terrible, and you have some pretty cool reptile support from Venoms. Snake Ring in particular, while I know it isn't directly related to Venoms, I mean, a lot of people played it in the Venom deck. Holy crap, look at this. Oh man, yeah, I think I called it like tacoing in the last video with like Volcanic Doomfire, where like, I mean, just look at that. That is not how cards are supposed to. I mean, you can even compare it to to like this one, which was not bent. You can just see, like, can you imagine someone playing with cards like that? So pretty much, even if we did pull a really, really high rarity card, a really expensive card, it wouldn't be worth anything because it's like so bent. In the Volcanic Doomfire tin though, I remember that we pulled an ultimate rare Transmigration Prophecy, which was super, super awesome. Not super valuable because it's unlimited and super bent, but still pretty cool to pull. Be cool to pull some hollows in this set as well. So we have Crystal Regeki, Secrets of the Galen. These also feel even more ridiculous when you're just holding one card. It's so silly looking. Volcanic Blaster, Tornado, and Volcanic Shell. Yeah, so no holographic card in this set, or in this pack I should say, which is pretty unfortunate, but look at that Volcanic Shell. So yeah, they can be pretty bent, pretty warped even without a holographic card, just because these have been sitting there for over 10 years. These are from 2007. Magna/Dragon, Crystal Blessing, Hard Selling Zombie, and Gravi Crush Dragon. Oh, nice. We got Gravi Crush Dragon and Magna/Dragon. Kind of go hand in hand there. One destroys back row, one destroys monsters by sending continuous spells to traps, or no, just continuous spells to the graveyard from your field. Obviously meant to be comboed with a Crystal Beast, which a young Dzeeff did way back in the day. I had a pretty budget-friendly Crystal Beast deck just from pulling packs and pulling those types of cards, which is pretty funny. Man, it's just so funny, like, looking at these cards because they're so bent. But hopefully, I mean, it'd still be nice to like pull any holographic card. Would be pretty welcome at this point. Although I'm not sure how likely that is to happen. Anti-fusion device. You can play that for Shaddolls. That'll get him. We have this guy, the Awakened Sage of Stillness, Xian's Castle of Mist, and another rare Neos Force. I should mention, as you guys can probably tell, but even if you do pull, like, even in like modern sets, you can pull a rare and like a super and like an ultra, but in these older sets, if you pull a rare card, that means you're not pulling any holographic card, just to keep in mind here. We have the Six Samurai Yarza, Change of Hero Reflector Ray, the Six Samurai Zanji, cool card, and we got the Gorilla of Dark World that pops a monster when discarded. It's pretty funny to think about that there was individually a card for popping monsters and a card for popping back row for the Dark Worlds, and then we got Grapha eventually a couple years after this, and that pops anything and also can summon itself and also has a lot of other cool combos. But it's just some of those old Dark World cards are really, really bad. So this is Cyberdark Impact, a set that a lot of people think is one of the worst sets ever released. That is definitely not true. I even made a video a long time ago about how this set is actually pretty good. There's a lot of really solid cards in here. You have Instant Fusion, I think, but you have like the Barrier Statue. You have some pretty cool choices, so we'll see if we can pull something. Vanity's Fiend and Vanity's Ruler in here as well. So we have Barrier Statue of the Torrent, Linear Accelerator Cannon, Abaki, oh man, we got some memes in the comments, Chain Detonation, and Rampaging Rhinos. It is looking like we're not going to pull any hollows in this tin, which is pretty sad. It's okay. Accumulated Fortune, pretty cool card. Another Barrier Statue, but for fire. Chain Strike, look at all these Chainburn cards. Look at this set, like, oh God, this is funny. So we have like 3 different Barrier Statues out of one pack, and then 3 different Chainburn cards. The reason this set seemed so bad back in the day was that the Barrier Statue cards were like a lot worse back in old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Because people didn't rely so much on special summoning. Even like Vanity's Fiend and Vanity's Ruler weren't very good. And you had like all of these column mechanic cards, like Rampaging Rhinos is a column mechanic card. Let's see. Once per turn, you can move it to an adjacent unoccupied monster card zone. If this card attacks a monster in the same column, it gains 500 attack and damage up. Wow. Pretty broken. Those column cards back in the day were pretty much unusable. I know nowadays we think about the column mechanic as actually being kind of useful for cards like Infinite Impermanence, but back in the day they were just all really, really bad. Not to mention like the biggest problem with these column cards, which I think I've talked about in the past, but the biggest problem with these cards is that because most people back in the day didn't play with columns, if you were playing with these, you had to inform your opponent before the match started that like, oh, just so you keep in mind, like, don't move your cards around the mat, don't move them to different zones, and then they now know that you're playing a column card so they can just play around them or whatever. Gosh, this is like by far the most bet one, by the way. Destiny Mirage, Destiny Hero Blade Messes, Power of the Duelist, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Power of the Duelist. Crop Circles, Rallus the Starbird, not Gallus the Starbird, his cousin, Rallus the Starbird, and, oh yeah, Dark City. Okay, there we go. No holographic cards out of our Rainbow Dragon tin. That's alright. Dark City is sort of the skyscraper for Destiny Hero monsters. And Alien Gray, I was a big fan of the aliens back in the day. Fossil Excavation, not Fossil Dig, which is obviously a lot better. It's kind of funny looking through here how many cards we got better versions of later on. We have the Connection Zone for Roids and Destiny Hero Fearmonger. Actually, a really, really solid card. I thought this was a rare in the first pack. I know I had like rares of this back in the day. That must have been from like Dark Revelation or whatever those were back in the day when you reprinted a whole bunch of sets. But oh my gosh, it's so funny looking. But yeah, that is the Rainbow Dragon tin opening. Unfortunately, no holographic cards. Well, I guess we pulled one. We did pull the Rainbow Dragon itself. What a beautiful looking card. I'm going to sleeve that up. It's pretty cool to have a mint version of that. This thing in general I think is worth around like $10 if I remember correctly. I think I looked before I bought this, but overall, I mean, if you want to buy these older tins and not lose money on them, the only way to do that is to keep them sealed. But I want to have fun. I want to open them and sort of relive a little bit of my childhood, so that's why I open them for this channel, like in this case. Anyway, though, hope you guys enjoyed today's sort of opening of this Rainbow Dragon tin. Let me know in the comment section below which tin you'd like me to pick up next time I go to Pasadena. I probably will go there in a few months for YCS Pasadena again, because they're doing 2 of them in the same season, which is kind of crazy, but maybe then I can buy yet another old school GX tin. I'll see you later, though. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.